Who's Venus?
A Greek god.
Who's no?
Female Greek god.
Who's Venus?
Is it Nimrod?
No. This is not Jeopardy.
It's another name for like Semiramis and Osiris. Just in Greek.
It's another name for Semiramis and Isis. Exactly. Another name for Semiramis and Isis. Venus, the Romans referred to Semiramis or a star, Ishtar, as Juno and Venus. Write this down. The Romans refer to Semiramis as Juno and Venus. All right, so they keep the story, they keep that thing going on, but they just call it by a different name. All right, from there, let's go to, this is tab number 6. Yeah, that's tab number 6. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 7 and verse 16.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 7, verse 16.
Come on.
Therefore, pray not thou for this people, neither lift up cry nor prayer for them, neither make intercession to me. For I will not hear thee. Seest thou not what they do in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem?
Come on.
The children gather wood, and the fathers kindle the fire, and the women knead their dough.
They do what?
Knead their dough.
Come on.
To make cakes to the queen of heaven.
To do what?
Make cakes to the queen of heaven.
They make cakes to the queen of heaven. So, I told the sister that it was a good question in regards to birthdays, because you have to understand where these customs come from. Who said that you're supposed to bake a cake? And, oh, the candles. Hold that. Go to Jeremiah 44. Jeremiah 44. I want to touch this before I forget. Where does that custom of the cake and candles come from? Where does it come from? They just say, you know what? I think it's good to put some wax and actually light on fire. Put wax and fire in a cake. Let's do that. Where does that come from? Who thought of that? All right, read what you got. Jeremiah 44 and start at 18.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 44, verse 18.
Come on.
But since we left off to burn incense to the queen of heaven.
To do what?
Left off to burn incense to the queen of heaven.
Burn incense to the queen of heaven. You see this? Y'all see this smoke right here? That's burning incense. Going into what? Those candles. Read.
And to pour out drink offerings unto her. We have wanted all things, and have been consumed by the sword and by the famine.
Come on.
And when we burned incense to the queen of heaven, and poured out drink offerings unto her, did we make her cakes to worship her?
Read that again.
Did we make her cakes to worship her?
Come on.
And poured out drink offerings unto her without our men?
Because brothers and sisters, we got to understand, their customs are not our customs. When we taking part in these wicked feasts, these idolatrous acts, we have to realize you're sacrificing unto the devil. That's what you're doing. Give me that in 1 Corinthians 10 and 20. You're sacrificing unto the devil. All right? Because the Most High God ain't never ordained anybody to make cakes, put candles in them, and just start burning them and just being happy. Nope. He didn't say to do that thing. All right? Read what you got.
1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 20.
Come on.
But I say that the things with the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils.
They do what?
They sacrifice to devils.
The things that the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to the devil. Because the gods of the nations are what, brothers? Idols. 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 All right? And Semiramis. Actually, go back to tab 1. Go back to tab 1. Where did it pick up off? It says, read it from the beginning. Watch this.
Then look at Easter. What means the term Easter itself is not a Christian name. It bears its Chaldean origin on its very forehead.
Come on.
Easter is nothing else than Astarte, one of the titles of Beltis, the queen of heaven.
The what?
The queen of heaven.
Read verse 19 again.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 44, verse 19. And when we burned incense to the queen of heaven.
Of who?
when we burned incense to the Queen of Heaven.
Showing you what? Just like you say, why are they putting on them suits on Sunday? They were doing it back then. They were doing the same thing. They were celebrating Easter back then. Which was what? Wickedness. The Most High God put us into slavery because we did this. It's the same thing over and over again. Y'all understand that, right? Yes, sir. All right. From there, let's